It was midnight. Rain was falling hard, and the wind roared through the dark forest. Seher's car broke down on an old village road. There was no mobile network, no traffic, and only the lonely sound of an owl echoing in the distance. Shivering, she stepped out of her car and walked down a muddy path. A few feet ahead, she saw an old, broken house. The windows were cracked. The door slowly opened on its own with a long, creepy creak. "Hello! Anyone here?" Her voice disappeared into the darkness. Inside, an old woman sat quietly, sewing something. Her hair was white, her eyes were dark, and her face showed no emotion. "Come in, child! The storm is bad outside," the woman said without looking up. Seher stepped inside nervously. The house smelled strange-like, something old and rotten. The walls were covered with dusty portraits of people with haunting expressions. It felt like all of them were staring at her. "Do you live here alone?" Seher asked. "Yes, I live alone now," the woman replied slowly. "People don't come here anymore. They say this house is cursed, but you look brave. You came anyway." Seher didn't understand how this sentence would soon freeze her blood. Suddenly, thunder crashed outside. The lights flickered once, twice, and then went out completely. Darkness swallowed the room. Seher pulled out her phone and turned on the flashlight. But the old woman was no longer sitting where she had been. "Hello?" Seher whispered, fear tightening her chest. She walked further inside, sweeping the flashlight across the walls. Then she saw something that made her legs shake. One of the portraits on the wall showed her own face. Same clothes, same hair, same umbrella. Only one thing was different. The Sahar in the painting had no eyes. Her heartbeats thundered in her ears. Before she could react, she felt something touch the back of her neck, cold, rough, and in a cracked, raspy voice whispered in her ear, "Brave girl, now it's time for you to join the others." The lights flickered back on. She turned around, slowly. It wasn't the old woman anymore. It was a tall, black shadow with twisted limbs and a face that looked more like a dead animal than a person. Seher ran toward the door, but it slammed shut before she reached it. The shadow moved closer, raising its hand toward her face. A loud scream filled the house. It echoed for a long, long time. The next morning, villagers found the house silent. Everything was still, except one thing on the wall. A new portrait. A girl's face. Her eyes, just like the others, were Emma parked her car near the rusted gate. The house stood like something torn from an old horror film. Broken windows, sagging porch, dead vines crawling like frozen snakes. She lifted her camera, pressed record, and whispered, "This is Emma Williams. Tonight, I'm investigating the Midnight House." The moment she stepped inside, the air shifted colder, heavier, almost breathing around her. The front door slammed shut. Emma flinched. "Wind," she muttered. Though the air was still, she walked deeper. Floorboards creaked. Every corner smelled of dust and forgotten days. Then she heard Ita's soft humming, a childlike lullaby floating from the upstairs hall. Halfway up the stairs, her camera glitzed static, distortion, flickering light while the humming grew louder. At the end of the hallway stood a white door covered in scratches, like someone desperate had clawed to escape. The humming came from there. She tried the knob, locked up, tap, tap. Something knocked from inside. Emma froze, breath trembling. "Hello?" she whispered. A small voice answered, "Please, let me out." Before she reacted, the grandfather clock downstairs chimed. Dong, dong, dong. The floor vibrated. Lights flickered wildly until the bulb above her burst. Silence swallowed the hall. Emma tried the door again. This time, it opened. The room was small and windowless. A rocking chair moved gently on its own. A music box sat on the floor. Emma touched it. The chair stopped. The box opened by itself and played the same lullaby. A shadow passed behind her. She turned no one. The door clicked shut behind her, locking softly. In the corner sat a tiny figure, knees pulled up, hair hiding her face, skin pale as wax. A little girl. A little girl, were you the one calling? Emma asked. The girl didn't move. Emma reached out. The girl lifted her head. Her eyes were entirely black. You shouldn't have come, she whispered. The house won't let you leave. The walls shook. Floor warped. The ceiling groaned as if something crawled above. Emma pulled at the door. No use. Midnight belongs to us, the girl said, voice deeper now. The rocking chair slammed violently. Shadows expanded like ink. When Emma turned again, the girl stood inches away. Don't run. Emma smashed her camera against the handle. The lock snapped. She bolted into the hallway as cracks split the walls, shadows moving inside them. Down the stairs, she ran, windows shattering, portraits screaming. The house was alive and furious. She rammed the front door until it flung open and sprinted to her car without looking back. At home, the footage showed only static except one clear frame, the girl's black eyes staring straight into the lens. Every night at midnight, Emma hears the lullaby, sometimes from her closet, sometimes under her bed. Last night, from inside her camera, her latest recording whispered, "If you ever visit Crestwood Hollow, stay away from the midnight house. It remembers everyone, and it always wants one more." The storm clouds rolled in as Lena Brooks pushed open the rusted metal door of the abandoned orphanage. Her flashlight flickered, painting thin beams across peeling wallpaper and shattered toys. She was searching for the room from the rumors, the room with the mirrors and the dolls. A cold gust blew past her. Somewhere inside, wood creaked like footsteps. Int orphanage hallway night. The floor groaned beneath her boots. Her flashlight stopped on a door at the end of the hall. Its surface clawed and splintered, carved into the wood. "Don't look into the pieces," Lena whispered. "What happened in here?" She pushed the door. "The mirror room." She froze. Dozens of cracked mirrors were nailed to the walls, and beneath them hung old, decaying dolls by the neck. Their glassy eyes stared at her. Their limbs twitched slightly in the draft. SFX. Faint child laughter. Distant. Echoing, Lena stepped forward carefully. Cloth rustles. She turned. Nothing. Then one of the doll's heads snapped toward her with a dry click. Lena stumbled back. Her flashlight trembled. "Okay, that's not possible." A whisper drifted behind her. "We only move when the mirrors see us." She spun around, but the room was empty, except for the dolls. Their shadows now stretched unnaturally long, crawling across the walls. The largest doll, the one with wild black hair, lifted its head slowly. Its feet dangled inches above the